Okay guys, we're back. This video goes out to the guys that want to race these cars. Basically, this is how to lighten your TR up to get to go faster. The way I look at things is losing weight with one of these cars is just free horsepower. I'll probably be wandering around the car here. I can't even remember half the stuff I've done, but it'll take me a couple of minutes here. So, here we go. We went over this before. This is the F-body rad setup. This F-body rad is extremely light compared to the stalker. It's got plastic end tanks on it, aluminum fins or aluminum core, whatever you want to call it, and it's a lot thinner. It just saves a lot of weight. Now, if you take a look at the engine compartment here, I've done away with the air conditioning. The heater core, I've retained it so I can have heat in the car spring and fall. I'm up here in Canada, I need it. When I retire the car from racing, I still have all the air conditioning stuff, so I can hook it all back up again. I don't recommend pulling the heater core. Like I said, if you want to sell the car, it might be a sticking point. And if you ever wanted air conditioning again, it's a nightmare trying to put it all back together. I'd recommend just leaving the heater core in and taking everything else out. If you do away with the air conditioning compressor, you can see this pulley down here. This is for non-AC. Now these cars all came with AC. This alternate or compressor delete pulley, the vendors have them and the auto parts store have them. Do a search on one of the Turbo Buick boards and get the part number off it. You can walk right in. They're fairly expensive. You can walk right in and buy them at your local auto parts store. Like I said, they're very expensive. I don't know if you can see it or not, but we had to shim this to keep the serpentine belt in line with everything else. If you don't have it shimmed correctly, if it's out of whack, it'll just throw it off. The other thing you have to do is, it's been a while, but the serpentine belt, if you decide to go with the delete air conditioning pulley, I believe the serpentine belt is about an inch longer. I'm sorry. I believe the serpentine belt is an inch shorter. If you're up in Canada, it's a couple of centimeters shorter. Once again, do a little bit of research on the boards and find out. Basically what I do is, when I need a new serpentine belt, I just walk in, hand it to the parts guy. He looks up the part number that's on it and hands me another one, and away I go. So anyway, that's the air conditioning delete pulley right there. My car was stolen. It'll be 2 years as October 4th. I had an ATR front fiberglass bumper on this car. When we found the car, it was broken. I've got it. I fixed it, but it's all got to be painted, sanded, and blah, blah, blah. It'll be back on the car a little bit later. Maybe around June or July, I'll have it all fixed up and put back on again, make it look real pretty. The vendors all sell, or quite a few of the Turbo Buick vendors, they sell fiberglass front and rear bumpers. Like I said, I got this ATR one. It's not on the car right now, obviously, just like I said, but it saves a crap load of weight. Now, if you don't want to run fiberglass bumpers, this is another way of doing things. Some of these TRs came with a cast iron inner fender. Now, there's a fender inside of this fender you're looking at in the front and rear. My car came with the cast iron ones. Some of them came with aluminum inner fenders and inner bumpers. And I kept my eyeballs peeled with the locals, and sure enough, I was able to dig up a front one and a rear one. Again, they're aluminum. Some of them are cast iron. You'll have to get underneath, have a look. It's pretty dark under here. You can't see crap. Anyway, this one's got the aluminum one. I swapped it out to the cast iron. The weight difference is incredible on these things. Now we'll go to the back. I've swapped the back out as well. Again, you can buy fiberglass bumpers if you want. I don't know how safe they are for the street. Quite honestly, probably illegal as all hell. And you can see this one here, I've changed over to the aluminum on the rear as well. Now you can save a lot more weight on these cars, but like I said, we're trying to keep this on a budget. You can get fiberglass trunk lids, hoods, doors. I picked up fiberglass doors from my engine builder in Montreal for his Stage 2 race car, so they are available. I don't know what brand he got. I picked up for him. I picked them up used out in Toronto, shipped them down to him. Like I said, you can go out and buy a lot of fiberglass stuff, but that's one way of cheap way of lightening the car up is with the aluminum inner bumper supports. Another thing on these cars is the original starter. It weighs about a freaking ton. I've got an LT1 starter on this thing. It weighs, I don't know, 3 to 5 pounds, not even that. Can't see it. I'm not too lazy to jack the car up. The mini starters are available from the local Buick vendors. You can order an LT1 starter for it. I believe it's the same tooth as the small block Chev, but again, get a hold of your Turbo Buick vendor, get yourself a real lightweight mini starter. Saves a ton of weight, and they're fairly inexpensive to buy. The rims on this car, as I had in a previous video, these are billet specialties. These are actual race rims. Even with the tires on them, they're as light as frisbees. They save a ton of weight. Like I said, they're very, very expensive rim, but I got them from one of the TR guys, the locals. He wanted to go back to the stock stuff, and I got these for a song, including the tires. They are extremely light, and like I said, even with tires on them, they're like frisbees. Another big weight savings you can do away with the cast iron rear drums. These are aluminums. They're fairly plentiful. Just get on the Buick boards and find a pair of them. They save a ton of weight. This car has got, again, I picked up a drive shaft from one of the locals. He went to a 400. I still got the 200 transmission in this thing. And sure as hell you can't. Well, yeah, you might. Anyway, I've got a big aluminum drive shaft on this. This guy spent a gazillion dollars on it. I think you can see it up in there. But anyway, it's an aluminum drive shaft. Again, saves weight. And you can buy aluminum drive shafts from the Buick vendors as well. Or keep an eyeball out for a used one, like I did here with a guy that went to a 400, and I picked this one up for, again, next to nothing. Trying to think of some more weight savings. Hang on. Pop the key in this thing. Now these cars have a whole crap load of sound deadener in them. So what we did is we took the car apart, we took the sound deadener out. Where you can see it, the easiest, is right here. You can see the foam. We've removed it. We took the interior car apart. We took a whole whack of sound deadener out. The stuff is heavy, real heavy. The other thing you can do is, I got a whole bunch of rags and shit in here. And this is an obvious one. When you hit the track, remove the spare tire jack, the whole 9 yards, yank it all out. Again, saves a ton of weight. Moving on. I'm probably forgetting a few things. Anyway, what you're looking at here, these are aluminum, extremely light. Haven't got them on the car yet. As soon as I get some warm weather, I'll pull the bumpers off and I'll swap these out. These are aluminum. They're for the bumper. They replace the cast iron heavy shocks. I'll show you where they are. There's 2 on the front, 2 in the rear. Oh yeah, I can't see them. Anyway, there's sorry, duh. Yeah, I don't know, it's too dark. Can you see that one there or not? Don't know. Okay, there it is there. There's 1 on each side, and there's 2 on the front one as well. They're cast iron, they're very heavy. They're for low speed impacts. Again, unless you're racing, I really wouldn't recommend swapping these out from a safety standpoint, and I don't know how legal it is to drive the thing on the street with the aluminums compared to these. For you guys racing, you're obviously going to go, most of you will go to a little 9-inch race converter compared to the great big 12-inch. And here's the one on my car. This is an art car 16930. It's a 9-inch compared to the 12. Lockup converter. This is a non-lock. The lockup converters are also thicker. They're very heavy. They weigh a ton. Again, this is an art car 16930. Stalls around 28 to 3000, depending on the low gear tune you throw on the car. Again, a hell of a lot lighter than the 12-inch D5 stock converter that's in the car. Okay guys, I think that's about it for lightening one of these cars up. I wish I had have weighed the car in before I did all this stuff. The car comes in now with me in the car. I put it on CAT certified scales, and it came in at 3505 with me in the car. I go about 170. So the car is fairly light probably compared to what it was. But like I said, I wish I had weighed it in before, but I didn't do it. Again, on the CAT scales, it came out at 3505 with me in the car. Another thing, and this is actually has a lot more to do with rotating mass, like the torque converter. I've got an RJC lower race pulley on this thing, and I got a couple other ones on it as well. That lower race pulley, the stock cast iron one, weighs a ton. I picked this one up again off a local, real cheap. The water pump pulley, again, I picked it up off a local, real cheap. Again, saves weight. We'll get into rotating mass with engine components at a later date. And but that's about it for today, guys. I can't think of anything else I've done to this car to lighten it up. Yeah, I think that's about it. Anyway, guys, have a good day. Take care.